Hello, my name is Sam. I'm a graduate student in physics at a fairly prestigious school, and my problem starts with the fact that I can't seem to do what needs to be done to succeed there. Um, to get to that school, I had to work really, really, really hard. In high school, I had no physics or science or math background whatsoever. Um, and a lot of people told me that I wouldn't be able to succeed in the field because of this lack of a background, because I quote unquote didn't have the talent or the genius for it or whatever you want to call it. I worked my ass off. Started doing well, and all of a sudden people assumed that I must have always had that talent my entire lifetime. It just hadn't been revealed. Um, and Continuing to work hard, I managed to get good grades and therefore got into a prestigious grad school. Um, Now that I have gotten here, along with a whole bunch of other things in my life, I got married, had a kid. I've found that as the days go on, uh, my ability to push through, gets less and less. I've always had a difficult time convincing myself to study. Now it's just about impossible. Um, One of the things I definitely want from the magic pill is the ability to come into my office at 9, work with complete focus, attention, and joy, basically, in what I'm doing, to be able to um, study what needs to be studying, taking only necessary breaks until I leave at 6. Basically, from this, you could see some of the things I want to get rid of that I've somehow acquired in an overwhelming degree. One, I procrastinate getting to work when I get to my office in the morning, and I procrastinate after taking breaks, and I take a lot of breaks. Um, B, I lose focus during my studying. My mind wanders. I need for that to stop. I need to be able to concentrate completely when I know the concentration is necessary. And finally, I lose motivation and become bored with what I'm doing, even if I started off the day really, really interested in the subject that I am studying. I actually love the thing that I'm in grad school for. I love physics. I really want to become a top guy, and to do so, I know what I need to do. I need to put my ass to the grindstone and learn the mundane and interesting stuff with equal vigor. And what's more annoying is I really usually find the quote unquote mundane stuff interesting in physics. And yet, right up to the moment, I find it interesting right up to the moment where I have to actually sit and acquire that knowledge. All of a sudden, a test I was looking forward to becomes too much of a burden, and I need for this tendency to stop. I want to be passionate about the subjects that I'm learning at all times, and not just right before I get started. Um, those are the kind of things I want to get rid of. The things I want to acquire is I want the ability to master the materials as I go through it and to make it to the ends of subjects that I know I really need to learn and do so easily. Um, I often start off new subjects with the intention of mastering them for application to future subjects. I do things along the lines of I pick up a new book, let's say on, I don't know, Green's functions or group theory or something along those lines, and I'll get two-thirds of the way through the book, and I'll do every single problem in the back of each chapter, which there's physics books, there's always problems in the back of chapters, or most of the time, at least the level I'm looking at. I'll do the problems and do them successfully, and then two-thirds of the way through, all of a sudden I'll come across end of the chapter problems that I can't do. So I go back and I look for what I didn't understand. Sometimes I find it and I'm able to do the problem, and then I try to move forward again, and lo and behold, I run to another roadblock. And again and again and again and again, I'm spending more time going backwards than forwards, and eventually I'm spending all my time going backwards and realizing that I hadn't mastered the subject at all. And I get so frustrated I stop and move on to something else that I need. In the meantime, the reason why I started doing that subject in the first place is because I needed it, and therefore my total progress is basically zero. And I've been stuck in this kind of rut now for maybe about a year, and driving me crazy. Um, if assuming Magic Pill gets me past this, then I want to be able to apply the subjects that I've mastered to new materials that, of course, I will then also master. In short, I want to use my super focus, my passion for the materials as I go through them, and my ability to quickly master subjects to create new things, new physics, new ideas, new papers, because publishing papers is the key when it comes to physics. You have to publish or you will die, and I feel like I'm close to dying. Um, for my life stuff, I have a stutter that I that pops out when I feel a little bit nervous or in a position of being judged by people, and I would really like for that to go away. I want to be able to talk to people without being nervous, um, or feeling like I'm judged, even though I logically know that there's no reason to feel that way. And I want that to go away so that I'll be able to talk to people as if in a comfortable fashion without stuttering or stumbling over my words. I want to be able to go to sleep better. Um, One of the things that has popped up is that I have a ridiculously hard time getting to sleep, and not just because of my child, but I'll either distract myself with pointless entertainment, or I'll just sit in bed and roll around for a while because I'm so worried about my whole situation, and also just about other stuff. I'm not even sure how to describe it, and therefore I end up going to sleep way too late. And I would like to be able to wake up and get the hell out of bed, instead of also fighting myself constantly and usually losing that battle and sleeping for a lot longer than I need to. Even if I get a good 8 hours of sleep, I have a hard time getting myself out of bed, and I'm sick of it. Finally, I have a lot of ideas that would require the same kind of study habits to be able to produce that I need to be able to be successful in physics. I want to be able to actually sit at the end of the day after a long day, after my daughter's asleep, and with, I guess, added energy or something, be able to develop these ideas into something that is actually usable and will wind up making us money because as a grad student, as I'm sure you can imagine, we don't have a lot of it and we desperately need it. Um, the stuff I've used before, I went to Landmark Education, um, which also offers a transformation idea, and it hasn't really worked. I don't feel that transformed, although of course initially I did, and it felt like it was a whole new world, but eh. Um, I've gone to various religious sources. I'm a Jew, and you know, those I've had mixed to no results when it comes to actually changing something like my study habits, and so there was no real success there. Um, I've also read a few books on how to focus and study better, and again, those have minimal actual lasting impact on me. I haven't really done anything to make me happier per se, because I think I feel fairly happy overall, except for this looming threat of my career in physics coming to a screeching halt and throwing off all my life plans, and so that is kind of the main thing. Um, and I really, really, really need Magic Pill to work, or I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Okay.